am just hanging out here in the evening. I haven't done a live in a while, so I thought I might do a live and see who else is hanging out. It is Thursday night around 9:30 p.m. Let me see if I can get my lighting a little bit better. I have been trying out this light. That might be too bright, but it's not too bright if I take off my glasses. But yeah, I think that light just sort of really helps brighten it up just a little bit. But yeah, so once we get to the evening, a lot of times we tend to start snacking and making like less healthy decisions. So let me know if you're like at that point now, you're tired and you're just like, I don't know, I'll grab a snack, I'll go in here and go in the refrigerator and do something. Or maybe you've like got it all under control, your day was good to go, and you don't really have any concerns. You're just resting and relaxing. But I know sometimes I will come in and get some snacks sometimes in the evening, but I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better, but I'm a long way from being perfect. So I got my computer over here. I'm a long way from being perfect in that respect. So definitely let me know in the chat what you've got going on. And nobody's like checking in the chat. Let me know if you're in. Give me a thumbs up when you come in and let me know you're here. And it's Thursday night. Would love to hear what you're doing tonight. But yes, I told my daughter this morning that I needed to do a better job with some of my eating habits. So, you know, we've all been like social distancing and during quarantine, whatever we're doing. But there's less out and about activity. And so we're more likely to do snacking throughout the day because we're here like all day. Now we just got back in, maybe, I don't know, what time is it? It's 9:30. So we just got back in maybe 30 minutes ago from a walk. We got out late. We typically go out a little bit earlier and then go for a longer walk, but we actually got out a little bit later today. So we just got back about 30 minutes ago, but we are trying to get back into our routine of having evening walks. So I don't know about you, but evening walks, they're okay. I mean, that's like a really good way to sort of wrap up the day. But typically, you know, I work out in the morning. So I did go running this morning. And the last 2 mornings, it was raining. So that was not good. Like literally yesterday morning, I actually put on my workout outfit, went to the door, walked outside, and I was like, it's drizzling on me. So I turned back around, came back in the house, and got on the treadmill instead. So that is the way that went. I'm confused. I've got the TV going on this way, and then she was going that way. But yeah, it's not helping things to not have an opportunity to go outside like I want to, and not go to the gym. Like, I'm so frustrated with not being able to go to the gym because that means that the only thing I'm really doing is walking and running. And sometimes I want to do something different. And I don't really have any other machines. I mean, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you could do jump rope or something. I've got stuff just sort of popping up here. I've got stuff popping up. Stuff just keeps popping up. So I should do a better job of turning off notifications. And my light is sort of dimming. And my battery in my phone is dying. So I guess I should plug that up in a little while. But yeah, I am online, sweetie. 2 people. 2 people. My daughter is asking me, how many people are keeping you company? I'm like, 2 people are keeping me company. And actually, I think it's just 1. She thought I was talking to myself. Well, I am sorta, but that's. she goes, I wouldn't really be surprised if you were just talking to yourself. That is like so.
Sometimes you think people are listening and they're not.
We are going to ignore her. But yeah, so yeah, I'm ready to like get back into the gym or try some new things. So one of the things that we've been talking about is getting a fitness pole. And yes, some people call them stripper poles, but we're talking about getting a fitness pole. And so I have been doing some research on the fitness pole. And that would be something I could have at home, and it would be something different. And yeah, it'd be something new to try out. So let me know if you have any thoughts on that. So far, nobody has any thoughts on us getting a fitness pole, but I've been researching it for quite a while, and it's interesting because there are quite a few brands out there, but it really seems like X Pole is the one that people are really interested in. That's the one that people seem to say is one of the best ones. And so they have a couple of different kinds. Like they have a mobile kind that you can get with a stage, and that way you can take it different places. So I guess, you know, if I wanted to take it to the gym and do it in one of the classrooms, I could do that if I needed more space. Or I could just get the pole kind and use it at home. So that's what I'm looking at doing. So when I get that in, and when I order that, I'll let you know. So maybe I'll be ordering that in the next few days. But I've got all these videos on my phone that I need to get off before I record any more videos. So it's like, oh yeah, record the video of you buying the X pole and talking about it. And it's like, yeah. And when am I gonna post that? Because I've got like all these other videos that are on my phone that I need to post. But yeah, so that's something that we're looking at doing. I should have changed the name of the, I don't know if I could change the name now, but I should have changed the name on this and said, hey, we're thinking about getting a fitness pole. But yeah, so originally I was gonna put off getting that because we are scheduled to go to the Democratic National Convention. I wanted to make sure I had money set aside for that. But it looks like everything's gonna be scaled back anyway, so I'm probably not gonna be spending that much money on that. And besides, I need something else to do other than just running and walking, you know? So it's either on the treadmill or outside. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's still the same thing. And yes, I have weights, and I have an exercise ball, and I have an ab roller, and I have exercise bands, and I have a jump rope. But the majority of my cardio is now just relegated to walking or running. So I would definitely like something else better to do. So one of the things that I also looked at was a rower. And I was looking at the water kind, which was interesting because I was reading up on that, and they were just like, yeah, the harder you row, that's how you get your workout, because the pressure from the water, the resistance, that is what increases, you know, how hard you have to work. Yeah, okay, so I started looking at the prices of some of the rowers, and it's just like anything else. You can find a cheap one, or you can find something that's a little bit more expensive. And I think the ones that I looked at that seemed the most reasonable, because you want to get something that's pretty decent, right? You don't want to get something that's going to fall apart, if it's flimsy, or that as you're using it, it like feels cheap, like the seat is cheap, things rattle and don't, you know, it's not sturdy, like you would be able to tell. And so the rower is around 700, which, yeah, she's like, oh my gosh. So the rower is around 700, and that's like, you know, somewhat reasonable. And then there were ones that were around 9 to like 1100, and they were really nice. Now, granted, like I said, I was looking at one of the water ones, and it's made out of wood, so it has like a wood base. It's not like a metal base. And that was really what I was interested in. So then I started thinking about it. It's like, okay, so I could like get my pole for less than that. And well, one of the rowers, it was really nice because you could like fold it up, and it actually, because of the design, it didn't look like athletic or exercise equipment. Do you know what I mean? Like most exercise equipment looks more like exercise equipment than it does look like, ooh, like a pretty thing. So that rower folded up looked like, ooh, a pretty thing. But yeah, I guess if you're paying that much money for it, the thing ought to look good. So then it came down to, well, should I get the rower or should I get the fitness pole? And to be honest, I like both. Like I totally got hooked on the rower when I was watching House of Cards because I actually, you know, okay, I've been working out for a while. So at one of the gyms that I really used to work out with more regularly, I actually did get on the rower on a regular basis. But I haven't done that much recently. Like I don't really do rowing a whole lot lately, and probably because of where it is in the gym. It's like in this like space up under there, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not conducive to me ever wanting to go in that little space and use that. But yeah, in the House of Cards, he was like in this room, like all this space, and he's like rowing, and you're like, yes, like you could envision the music going, and you totally getting into that sort of rowing feel, and you could like hear your music and the swoosh of the water because the water is is there unlike the other kind. So they had the water rower. But yeah, so I got really into that then. I was sort of like back into, I was like, I should go back to the rower because this is like, I think I might like this. So I've done it a few times, but like I said, where it is at the gym, I'm just like, no. So then it was like, oh, well, let's go back to the fitness pole because that's not only cheaper, but if you get the mobile kind, then you can kind of do more with it and do it in different places or something. I don't mean like in front of people. I mean in terms of like using it at home and having the option of maybe going to the gym and using one of the classrooms when nobody's there and doing it. So yeah, so I've been looking at that and researching things like you want it to be really sturdy. Okay, so the other thing was whether or not to get like spinning or static. My thinking is you get one that does both. So another reason why I was going with that particular model of the X pole, because I want one that does both, that is static and that can also spin. And so sturdiness, the ability to do both of those, and then how it attaches. Like you wanted to be really clear that it's not going to damage like your floor and your ceiling. And so I have wood floors, and I don't want to do anything that's going to like have to put screws or something in my floor or something like that. So I looked at how it's installed to make sure it wouldn't be tearing up my house. And of course, price was also an issue. Want to make, get something that's budget friendly. The thing about it though, to keep in mind is because it'll tell you how many pounds that particular pole can handle. So it'll tell you how many pounds, it'll tell you what kind of finish it comes into. And so you want to spend enough money to make sure you're getting something that's really good because if you're on the top of that thing, the last thing you want is something to like break or fall apart or fall down or fall on your head, whatever. Like when you're up in the air upside down or something, not that I'm going to be up in the air upside down, but generally, you're hoping you're going to progress and do more stuff with the fitness pole. So you want to make sure that you spend enough money that you get something that's sturdy and that, you can count on to hold you up because you're going to want it to hold you up. So this particular brand, like I said, as I was reading it through the information about X-Pole, it sounded like it was consistently, as I was doing my research, it was consistently coming up in like the top 3. They were just like, if price is not too much of an issue, this is the one to get. If you're looking for this is the one to get. If you're, if you're going to be competing, this is a good one to sort of practice on. So it kept constantly coming up. Apparently, they also have a shop. I guess they're in California, if I remember correctly. But apparently, they have a shop, and you could actually go in there. However, because of the pandemic, the shop is not open right now because they have a whole bunch of stuff on their website. Like every page you hit, a video pops up and it's like, oh, we're not open right now. And it sounds like it takes forever to even get what you order. So I'm not sure what the deal is, what's going on. Maybe women are just at home going, well, if I gotta be here at home and I gotta work at home and I gotta teach kids school at home, I'm gonna need a pole because I'm gonna need a break. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Maybe everybody's buying a pole. So I'm really thinking that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and order that because I think that would give me something different to do because I have no idea when my gym is gonna open back up. If you saw my other video, then you know that they already went to the state legislature to try to get a bill passed to open the gyms back up. But I don't know if that's gonna happen because the House passed it, the Senate passed it, and now I think it's just sitting there. And then because North Carolina has had so many cases still of COVID, I don't know, and even if you open back up, it's sort of like, but do I really want to go? It just sort of depends. It's like, call them up and be like, hey, is anybody in there? Can I come in? Because if the place is clear, maybe I'll come. But yeah, again, it's about options and having the ability to do something different because yeah, my knees can only take so much running day after day after day after day. And actually, at one point, a couple of weeks ago, I actually did back off for a couple of days because my knees were bothering me so much. Because it was like, go for another run and get up the next day and go for another run and get up the next day and go for another run. So yeah, so that's why there was the thinking of maybe getting a fitness pole or a rower. And like I said before, I was already thinking about the fitness pole anyway. So I researched the pole, decided the brand I was gonna get, and since then I've also been looking at, oh, did I say I had actually, I don't think I told you I had actually taken a pole class before. And so the thing about it is, the thing about it is not even where I live. It's in like a town over in another county. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like nobody here has a studio for that. So I need to just open my own studio. I need to learn enough and open my own studio. But yeah, nobody has one here, so I had to drive there. I had to drive through traffic. It took me like an hour to get there. I was like, this is crazy. But apparently it's one a lot of people go to because there just aren't a whole lot in the area. So we definitely need one here. And so I took it. It was really good. It wasn't, I think a lot of times people think that it's gonna be like over sexualized, and it wasn't. It was an intro class. And so it was like really teaching you like the fundamentals of how to hold, how to do a basic hold and some basic turns and some basic moves, You're not like, I don't know, doing something to it, okay? It was a very instruction oriented class with a bunch of women, and if it's something you're interested in, I would definitely say try it out. And the other thing is, as I've been going through and looking at some of the different moves and things, I don't think people realize too how, that's why I keep calling it a fitness pole. And even if you go to their website, they have it listed as a fitness pole. But the ability to be able to increase your athleticism as you're working on that is really what I'm interested in. Because number one, because I run so much and I lift so much, I don't really stretch a whole lot. And I think this will cause me to focus a little bit more on stretching because I really want to save this as an evening activity and a weekend activity. And so in the evening, when I just want to move a little bit more and get a little bit more something in, like this would be really relaxing to be able to do some stretches and warm up and then maybe do some moves on the pole and then maybe do a cool down stretch or something like that. And it just feels like a good way to sort of wrap up the evening, and I think I would enjoy doing that. And so that's the other thing. So when I've gone in and looked at some of just like the moves and stuff, some of the things that I'm interested in learning how to do, I can see definitely how it would help me strengthen my core and my back and all of that, because I'm always, you know, very conscious of making sure that that's an area that I work on, because I have had problems with my back in the past. And so I really am sort of like, yeah, let's work those abs, strong back, and get that core. But I'm the person who hates to get down on the floor, like do a sit up. And it's like I'd rather do the sitting like ab crunch that I do at the gym, because I'm sitting as opposed to getting down on the floor. I hate getting down on the floor, which is why I don't really stretch a whole lot. And so I'm hoping that this is going to get me more in the mode of getting down on the floor and stretching. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what I'm hoping to do with that. And let's see if I can get rid of that. All right, so yes, so the fitness pole, let's see, what else was I gonna say about the fitness pole? So yeah, so I've been looking at some of the exercises, some of the things that I want to learn to do. And hey, Paolindo just popped in. Hey, glad to see you here. So I'm talking about getting a fitness pole and learning how to do like some pole moves to increase some of my athleticism and flexibility and that sort of stuff. And good to see you too. Yeah, hey, lots of people are like out now. All right. Sorry about that. I am just like, you know, it's, I don't even go live that often. And let me see if it came back up here. Yeah, I don't even go live that often. And to to have it like mess up like that, because I just was not yay, glad you're like back. Yeah, welcome to my own live stream, right? Yes, welcome. So yeah, glad you're here. Hope you guys are having a hope you had a good day and that you're having a good evening. So like I said, I don't even do lives that often, and I know I just I it I wasn't paying attention. I got totally. All right, yeah, I'm not sure why it's buffering again. Of course, it's coming through on my phone just fine. But, okay, so maybe now it's back. It looks like maybe it's back now. Yeah, I'm not sure why it was doing that. But it seems to be back now. But yeah, But yeah, so I don't know if you've ever tried a, I don't know if you've ever tried a fitness pole before. So let me know. Great. Well, you can hear me. Hopefully you can see me now. It looks like it's doing okay. It's coming up on my computer okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. Glad you can hear me and see me. So yeah, so I have been trying to decide whether or not, because I was like tired of running outside and tired of getting on the treadmill, and I was talking about whether or not I was going to maybe get a rower or get a fitness pole. And I had mentioned it to my daughter, and she was like, "Oh, you buying a stripper pole?" I was like, "A fitness pole, a fitness pole. It is a fitness pole." But yeah, I took one pole class. It's been a few years. It's been maybe, I'd say, at least 2 years. Might have been, yeah, maybe a little over 2 years ago. And I mean, it was really good. I enjoyed it. So I don't know if any of you have ever taken one, but yeah, so I'm probably going to try to order the pole this weekend. I've picked out the company that I'm going to get it from. And so yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But I have been online looking at different videos to sort of learn like some different techniques and things that I want to learn once I get the pole. Like I'm already like, okay, so here's some, I do remember some of the moves from when I took the class, but it's been a long time ago. And I'm a little rusty on swinging around a pole. And you know, it's funny because like we don't, oh cool. we don't think that that's an issue when we're young. Like when we're at the playground and we're kids and we're running around and we're swinging on the monkey bars and that sort of, like, it isn't an issue. But then when we get older, we start to think that we can't do these things anymore. And I just disagree with that. I think we can still continue to do any of these fun activities that we want to do. Um, and so, yeah, I took the pole class, but I did not take, I think they had like a chair class too, where you could do like exercises and things with a chair. But I didn't take that class. I just didn't, I was looking for something that really did have the ability to sort of increase my athletic ability. I just didn't see that with working out with the chair. I mean, I can think of some things you can do with a chair. I've done some things with a chair. I have a video from way back when I first started of stuff that, you can try to do with a chair. But the pole, like being able to do inverted moves and the lifts and stuff. Okay, so let me just be honest here. I'm a girl who likes to I like to see like some muscle on women. Like I like that sort of curve of being strong. I like a strong look on a woman. And so when I look in the mirror, I like to look like a strong girl. And so as I was looking at, some of the moves and, how they could help build strength, that's what really drew me to it. And so I was like, oh, so I can like build core strength, I can build arm strength, I can get more flexible. That was the other thing too, because I totally want to increase my flexibility. So I was just like, I'm checking out this pole and I'm thinking I want a pole. And the trick was figuring out where I was going to put it in my house, because like we use all of our rooms in our house. We don't have like some big room that's just, I don't know who has rooms like that where you just have nothing in them. I don't have any rooms like that. So I was like, I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna pull down the blinds because nobody else needs to know what I'm doing. And I'm gonna push like some stuff to the side. And because of the way our lights are situated, they're apart. So the pole could actually go like literally like right there. I'm like pointing right there in the center of the ceiling. And there would be all of this space around it, and I'd be able to use the pole in here and not have any issues at all, because like the walls that way, the windows way that way, that wall's way back there. So I'd push the sofa back too. So I think I'd have plenty of room in here to do it. I think this actually is the only room that I would be able to do it in. But the other option is to get the mobile kind with the stage on it. And so it's just sort of like a pole coming out like that. Like it's like this, as opposed to it being positioned between your floor and your ceiling. So there's like nothing on the top when you get the mobile kind. And I was thinking that I could just take that to the gym and use that in one of the classrooms at the gym. So I'm pretty sure the gym owner would let me do that. So that's my first thought. My first thought is I'm gonna order my pole and I'm gonna start to learn some stuff. And eventually I'm thinking, because I was having this conversation with with my daughter too. Yeah, we have those kind of conversations. We go on long walks and we have conversations. But I was having a conversation with her and I was thinking, at some point in time, I wouldn't mind teaching those kind of classes. Like, I've never wanted to be a personal trainer. I've never wanted to like teach fitness classes like Zumba or anything like that. Like back in the day, like way back in the day, I used to take like step classes and aerobics classes and stuff like that back when that stuff was in. So like that was so long ago. But yeah, I used to like, and I'd have all my little fitness outfits and stuff. Like I've always been like that person, like who would come in wearing the fitness clothes. So y'all don't laugh at me. But yeah, I would be like that person in the fitness clothes. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm thinking possibly about teaching that. And I haven't decided how I want to do it. Because part of the trick is right now, of course, we're under this pandemic and it's hard to do classes, like in-person classes, and especially something like that where you're giving like really close instruction to somebody, like maybe you're telling somebody to place your hands a certain way and you're showing them, or to hold their back a certain way, or how to lift up or something like that. And so because the instruction might be in close proximity, you might not really want to do that right now, and so, but there are lots of other ways to teach it. And so actually they are allowing outdoor classes. So technically, if I had like a fitness pole in one of the mobile stages, then, I could set it up so that it was done outside. And so that's one of the things I'm thinking about, whether or not I want to get a couple of mobile poles with the stages and then do that, because I could do that. So I think I would like doing that, but I've definitely never been the person who wanted to like teach these other classes. Like I just was never really into that. And something's popping up. But yeah. So that's sort of the plan. I'm gonna order the pole from X Pole, but I think, and I have to look back at this because it does look like they like take a long time to get you your pole. So we're gonna see how that works. And I've already been so I'm like so far in preparation. I don't even have a pole, but I'm like looking at like the stuff I want to learn to do and all this and what else I might do with it. I've already been like listening to kinds of music that I want to be able to like practice moves to, like stuff that's a little bit more soothing. Although I was listening to a song this morning that was way upbeat, and I was trying to figure out how I could do like pole exercises with that song because it was so upbeat, but I like the song because it's upbeat. But yeah, so I've already been like picking out music that I want to do stuff to, just, stuff that's more like I said, because I want to do the pole exercises in the evening so that it's a little bit more calming and that sort of thing. So away from that one that I just talked about. And so some of the music that I've already been picking out does have a slower feel to it, more calming, more relaxing, because that's how I want to be able to do it. But like I said, I don't know, I'm looking forward to it. My daughter is like looking forward to it too much. Like, why are you so interested in like the fitness pole? She's like, yeah, but I think part of it too is that she's bored. Because she doesn't have a lot to do. Like her job, she works at the gym, at the front desk, and the gym's not open, so she doesn't have a job. And school is done, so she doesn't have that to do. So she doesn't really have a whole lot to do right now. A lot of what she's doing is getting prepped to go to college in the fall. So yeah, so I think, this will be a good way, getting the fitness pole would be a good way to sort of give both of us something else to do outside of, the stuff we're already doing. And for me, I really want to work on strengthening, just like strengthening, and then flexibility. So on the flexibility side, so I am like not flexible. I don't know about you and what your goals are, what your fitness goals are, but I'm not a flexible person at all. And so one of the things that I really want to do is work on increasing that. So I've also been looking at some videos about stretching and flexibility and being able to like do the splits and straddle and just all of that sort of stuff. So that's really sort of what I've been looking at and thinking about doing too. But that's pretty much it with that. So I think that's about all that's going on with that. So I definitely will start to do some videos around that, like I said, when I get ready to order the pole. And I'm definitely gonna do an unboxing. Like that is gonna be the best video, because I don't buy that much stuff. So the last unboxing I did was for these, and they are still great. I'm just gonna tell you, I got them from Target, and they are still great because I just needed a wireless pair, and they are definitely holding up and doing the job. And I think they were maybe like $59. But the last time I went to Target, like they had a pink pair too. They looked like they were just about sold out of those. But I'm definitely, when I get the pole, I cannot wait to do an unboxing on that, because that is gonna be great. So I'll probably break it up, because sometimes those videos can get really long. And so it may be that I do the unboxing of the pole to sort of open it up and set it up and to see what it looks like. But I probably will, like the first time I use it and check it out, I will probably save that for a separate video. So I'm definitely gonna share that. But yeah, like I said, I should go to the website and see how long it takes for them to send the fitness pole in, because I know it does take a while. It says, have you ever tried kickboxing or boxing? So they do have like one of the boxing bags at the gym, and I tried it one time, and I was like, I was hitting the bag, and I was just like, the bag was like going nowhere, and I was not sure whether or not I was doing it right. But for some reason, it was not one of those things that like sort of appealed to me, which is interesting, because you know, some of the moves are not too far from something like martial arts, from some of those activities. Like a lot of those are really related. And yet I was watching something a while back, and I can't remember what kind of martial art it was, but I was looking at it and I was thinking like, oh, I think I like that. And I did, and I totally went online and started researching it, and I went down that road. But that's about as close to kickboxing or anything like that that I've really tried. But I've never really taken a kickboxing class. I've only like played around with the bag at the gym, and I didn't do it very well. I was playing around with it with the manager there, and he was trying to show me some moves, and I was horrible. I was absolutely horrible at it. So yeah, but I do want to try some other stuff, because like I said, the running is just sort of tearing up my knees a little bit. And in the past, when I've trained for half marathons, and I've done 3 of those, and you're starting to, because my base run, like I can always go out and run 6 to 8 miles, and that's not an issue. It's getting up to 13, you know? And so by the time, and usually I train over 13. And so what I might do to get used to running 13 is to do 2 of my 8 plus laps. And so you're talking about a 16-mile run. And usually, you know, what happens is, even though I take my time in upping that, because it's so many miles, it has not failed me. Every single time I've gotten to the point where I had to back off because my knees started hurting so much. And so there's that part where you're trying to figure out how not to overtrain, but to train enough. And it's just every time. And so, you know, I like running, but just lately it's just sort of like, I like to be able to mix it up. Like I like to be able to get on the elliptical every once in a while. And that just, you know, because it's low impact and it's not hurting my knees at all like that. And I just haven't really been able to do that. So I'm not real happy about that. So as a result, yeah, my daughter said she was going to go back to the gym and be like, yeah, my mom got bored during quarantine and had to go buy a fitness pole. Of course, that's not quite how she said it. That's not quite how she said she was going to say it. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to trying something new and trying something different. So yeah, but yeah, it sounds like kickboxing might be something that you've done before. But if you want to tell me more about it, just, yeah, drop it in the comment there. But yeah, so I did. And so the other thing that's lately, it sort of looked fun, but I don't know that it is, that fun. And so you'll see like some of the step classes now, because like I said, I did like step way back in the day when step wasn't as cool as it is now, because now they've got like a room full of people and everybody's doing step and they've got like some cool step music. That's not quite what they had when I was doing step, and they'd be like, oh, we're gonna do grapevines over, and yeah, I can't remember half the moves, but because it's been that long. And it seems fun still, but I'm not a real class person. Like, I'm not, like, when I work out, I don't really want to work out with anybody else. I don't necessarily want to see people. So like I said earlier, my daughter and I went for a walk and we got back like right around 9 o'clock. But it was funny because we ran into somebody and I was just sort of like, look, I left the house it was like 5:45 this morning, and I ran into 2 of my neighbors. And I was just like, actually I ran into 3 of them. 2 of them I had to speak to. The third one, she sort of turned the other way before I got up close enough. But it's like, you leave the house at 5:45 a.m. and you still run into your neighbors when you're trying to go out for a run. And so then when we went out this afternoon for a walk, there we ran into, well, she was driving by, but we ran into somebody else we knew. And so it's like, can I just go out and not see anybody I know, not have to speak to anybody, just get my run or walk in and be done and come back home? Like, I can't do it in the morning, I can't do it in the afternoon, so I don't know when I'm going to do it. So I'm not really a class person anymore. I just, like, it's enough to be around and, like Zoom after Zoom after Zoom with a whole bunch of people, that by the time I get to the point where I'm trying to get my exercise in, I don't necessarily have to see a whole lot of people, which is interesting because when the gym is open, I go to the gym. So as you can imagine, I have to speak to a lot of people, and it can be a lot first thing in the morning because, I'm like, hey, how's it going? Did you guys have a good day? Awesome. Yeah. Oh, great job. It's tiring having to talk to that many people in the morning. It really is. So, I think my daughter's got the electric guitar going because I hear it. But yeah, so that's about it. That's about where things stand with the fitness pole. But yeah, so I'm not. So yeah, so I might teach. Maybe, we'll see if I do, like, if I get to the point where I want to do classes for the fitness pole or if I just want to do individual instruction. But I think I definitely want to do that at some point in time. We'll see how it goes, because part of it's going to depend on how soon I'm able to up my skill level. And I was actually looking at a woman on the internet, and she has great fitness pole skills now. And they were like interviewing her, and they were like, oh, how'd you learn how to do this stuff? And she was like, online, on YouTube. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna find me videos. I'm just gonna learn all this stuff online and how to do like stuff on the fitness pole on YouTube. And that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, if anybody's ever wondering and ever asked me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I watched videos on YouTube, and that was how I learned how to use a fitness pole. But yeah, there are so many videos out there where they're telling you, like there are ones that tell you like stuff for beginners so that you learn how to do stuff properly, like stuff for safety. I mean, they tell you all that stuff. You guys know that. I mean, you know, you just Google it and it pops up, or you go on YouTube and you can find the video. So it's really simple. Let me put it to you this way. And the reason I'm saying that is because, like I said before, I drove to another town in another county a couple of years back to take a fitness pole class. I am not going to do that. I just refuse to do that to learn the techniques and skills that are necessary. I would rather, I mean, in the time that it would take me to get there, because of when they have the classes, it would take me like an hour to get there. That's an hour that I could actually be learning something. So if the class is an hour and I'm driving an hour there and an hour back, that's 3 hours. That's 3 hours I could be learning the skills versus 1 hour of learning the skill and 2 hours of driving. So yeah, now you know why I'm gonna be learning by looking at YouTube videos and not actually driving to this other town to get like class instruction. I mean, and the class was good. It's just that I took that class and I knew when I left, I was like, as much as I would love to come back, I'm not coming back, because it's just like I just can't fit that in my schedule. That's like 3 hours. And so if you took a class that like meets, you know, and I guess some people go, well, yeah, but if it's just once a week for 6 weeks or whatever, for 4 weeks or whatever, you know, it's just 1 day a week. I'm not doing that. Like, I have better things to do with my time, like literally, than spend 2 hours trying to go to a fitness pole class. So that is just not happening. So we will see how that goes. But I definitely want to move to the point where learning some additional skills and teaching some classes with some people. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I actually had a friend of mine in another town, and he and I had talked about it before, and he was actually thinking about opening a studio where he lives. He had actually already talked to some people about you know, coming in and being able to teach it, because he knew some people there who were interested in teaching it. They just didn't have a place yet. And so, you know, even if I didn't want to do, even if I moved beyond individual instruction, I'm pretty sure I could probably talk the gym manager into letting me be able to teach a class there. So it just be like when it was and what kind of, you know, how I was going to do it. So I think he'd be open to that. As a matter of fact, I keep meaning to mention that to him, but I keep forgetting. So we're going to see about that. But yeah, it is, oh my gosh, it's like 10:17 and I am so done for the night. I am so tired, and it's because I get up so early in the morning. So a lot of times I wake up between like 4:15 and 4:30, but I don't really get up until 4:45 because I'm a zombie still. And so I've gotten so that in order to help myself wake up and just go ahead and get into being able to move around and get things done, once I get up, I now go like straight to the treadmill and go ahead and walk. And it depends on how early I get up. Sometimes I've been getting up a little bit earlier, but yeah, I will go ahead and like go straight to the treadmill and like walk for 10 or 15 minutes or something. Sometimes it's 20 minutes. And then I'll get off and brush my teeth and like do some straightening up around the house or something like that, and then get ready to go for my run. Like I said, I like to go by like 5:45. Sometimes I'm trying to get out emails and stuff. Yeah, sometimes I'm working before I go run. And so I might not get out of the door until 6, but I usually make 6 the latest, because like I said, there's so many people out. You can't even go for you cannot leave your house at 5:45 and go for a solitary run or walk, because your neighbors are doing the same thing. It's crazy. But yeah, and so because I'm getting up so early, I'm really starting to get way more tired, earlier. So I had a Zoom call tonight. I got off that. I think we ended a little around 8. I don't remember. But by the time, so think about that. If you're getting up at 4:45, I mean, even if you said 5 o'clock, so 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. So that means I've been going, by 8 o'clock, by the time I finish that Zoom, 15 hours. I've already been up 15 hours going nonstop doing stuff. And then I got off the Zoom and it was, okay, so let me like throw on some shorts and get with my daughter and we're going to go for a walk. And then by the time we get out of the house and we come back, it's 9 o'clock. So literally I've been going 16 hours at that point in time. And then I was like, okay. And I told her as we were coming back in, I said, I'm probably going to do a live because I haven't done a live in a long time. And so I want to do that. But I told her, I said, but it's really late and I'm going to be really tired. But I did want to do one because I hadn't done one in a long time. So now it is going on 10:30 and I'm still going. And so yeah, once it gets like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, I really start to slow down, as you can expect, and really, she is really playing. I'm just wondering if you can hear the electric guitar that's going on upstairs. I'm not sure where she's learning how to play, but yeah, the electric guitar is going. She's learning how to play something. Oh, I know what that song is. Okay, I have heard that song before. But yeah, so she is truly bored. So she also has an electric ukulele. So, we've got an amplifier and, all of that sort of stuff. So she's got both the electric guitar and the electric ukulele. But that's the guitar going on upstairs. Like I said, she is bored, so she wants the fitness pole too, because she's like, I need something to do. And I'm like, oh, what mom lets her daughter get on a fitness pole? I don't know. But I see it as an opportunity to do some other things with your body, some other ways to have fun and get movement and exercise in. So, I mean, if that helps her, if that's something she winds up being interested in to sort of help her stay healthy and fit, I say go for it. But yeah, I think she's working her way through different things to like not be bored, because she hadn't pulled that out in a while, so that's interesting. But yeah, so the classes and all of that, and been going all day and been doing the Zoom, and now it's just about 10:30 and I'm tired. And I had started this out with the chat with me, are you late night snacking? And the only reason I put that as the title, which I'm probably gonna change because I wound up talking about the fitness pole more than anything. And I may do another like update on the fitness pole after I've like ordered it, just to sort of tell you where things are with it. But what was I gonna say? Other than me being tired. Yeah, so I'm gonna change. Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna change the title to this because I had like a handful of almonds before I got started. And so that was what was on my mind when I sat down to do this live. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and thank you for hanging out with me. Oh, and 6 people gave it a thumbs up. So that's really cool. That's really appreciative, especially since it went out for a little bit and I lost some people, and at least one person is still hanging around. It says 2, but 1 is my laptop going so that I can see the comments from people, because it's easier to see it on my laptop than it is on my phone. And you guys would totally appreciate me like looking at my laptop and not being on my phone like, what does that say? Oh, did something pop up? Because it's so like, here's the phone, and then like the writing is like way down there in the corner when it pops up. Like, who can read that? I'm sure you can probably do a different setup, but this is my setup here. But yeah, so I'm gonna so one of the other things too I'm really bad about, because it is so late when I finish up, I am really bad about not taking my makeup off at night. And so I will like I will half get ready for bed, right? Because I'm so tired, because I've been up since like 4:45. And so like we get to this point and I don't feel like, I'm like, oh, I gotta go in the bathroom and I gotta wash my face and take my makeup off. And this is Jennifer Lopez does the pole dancing. I saw her, so I have not seen the movie. So have you seen the movie? I have not seen the movie. I do want to see the movie. But I did see her video, because both she and her husband have YouTube channels. And so I tend to follow him actually more than I follow her. But I did see the video where she was talking about doing some of that and learning that. And then I saw somebody else's video too, where they were saying that they had like studied some of the techniques and stuff and had tried to learn it after that. But I think the video probably got some people interested in it too. Like I said, I had taken a class a while back, so I was already sort of there. But yeah, I haven't seen the movie, like I said, but I have watched her videos where she has one on her YouTube channel about learning how to do it and I think it more had to do with learning how to do it for the movie, in movie setting, because it's a little bit different trying to do it for a movie than actually performing on stage in front of people. So yeah, and since you brought that up, I may actually go back and look at that again. So yeah, so less like dancing, but more like I want to learn how to do like a lot of the inverted moves and a lot of the things that are a little bit more acrobatic. Like I really want to do moves that force me to become stronger and to be able to lift my body in certain ways. And I guess this sort of goes with it too, because I've also been looking more at yoga also, and trying to determine which of those moves I might want to start with. I actually used to have a yoga book that had some moves in it. I still have it around here somewhere, but that tells you how interested in yoga I am, because I don't even know where the book is. But when I was in law school, oh my gosh, I went to a yoga class. I was like, no. I walked in there. There must have been like 200 people in there, because it was a college yoga class at the gym. This was at Carolina when I was in law school. Oh my God, like, so you tend to think yoga is supposed to be this place where you go and you relax and you're doing all these moves and you're like good to go. I walked in there and it's like, how can you like be relaxed and meditative and like inhaling and breathing and feeling your body when you're like in a room with like 200 other people doing the same thing and people moving and huffing and there's just all this like it was I went one time and I don't even think I stayed the whole day. I couldn't take it. I was just like, I can't do this. So yeah, so I'm not good with I'm not good with stuff like that. Oh, there's something that popped up on my thing. So yeah, I'm totally not good. So I think the yoga would fit really well with the fitness pole right now. So the yoga would help me develop a lot of that flexibility that I want to have for some of the fitness pole moves. So that's why I've sort of been looking at that too at the same time. But yeah, so it's going to be really interesting trying to pull that in, because like I said before, I am not a flexible person. I do not like getting down on the floor to stretch. Like that is not my deal. Like I don't want to sit. I don't want to bend over and touch my toe. I don't want to straddle my legs and touch my toe. I don't want to do pigeons and all that. Like I don't want to do any of that stuff. But I know that if I want to develop the flexibility that I want for the pole, that it would be really helpful for me to to learn a lot of these yoga moves because they'll help me relax my muscles and work on my breathing and my stretching. And so I know that. So one of the things, like right now, you can't see this, but one of the problems I had was my yoga mat. So I bought a yoga mat for my husband because he was doing like some floor stretches and stuff, and it's blue. And then I bought me a mat, and mine is pink. He took my mat and left me with the blue mat. And so the blue mat's longer. Now that was his, okay? The pink mat's shorter. That was mine. Do you know why he took the pink mat? Because the pink mat is thicker. And so when you're like doing moves and things where you're on your knees, the blue mat is horrible. Like you can't do it. It's horrible. And so that's why he took the pink mat. So right now on the floor, I have the blue mat and I have the pink mat on top of it because the blue mat is just horrible. Like if you're gonna, no, I was gonna say, I was gonna try to come up with a few moves that you could do on it, but no, it's horrible. And so at some point in time, I'm now gonna have to go buy a third mat because he likes to keep his mat, which is really my mat. He likes to keep that up there for him so that he can pull it out and be ready to use. So the blue mat, I don't know where it's going, but it's horrible. So if you're ever thinking about buying a yoga mat or just an exercise mat, okay, make sure you get one that is thick because otherwise you might as well not have it. And so my house, it's mostly hardwoods throughout. So no, you're not gonna be on a carpet with cushion underneath, you know, with the pad, with the foam or whatever underneath, with the carpet pad underneath. It's hardwood. So you need a mat, you know, if you're doing things and you're putting your knee on on the floor or something like that, because otherwise it's gonna hurt and it's gonna be uncomfortable. So he took my mat. And the mat I gave him was a gift, and so he basically gave me my gift back and took my mat. So yeah, so now I need to get another mat, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with this blue one because nobody's gonna want to use it. My daughter might use it, but I don't know. So yeah, so that's where I am with the mat. But yeah, so just like with the X pole and the moves, I've also been looking at some yoga moves because so I've been looking at like entry level ones, okay, like beginner yoga moves. Because like I said before, I'm not the most flexible person in the world. I mean, I'm not I mean, I can pretty much touch my toes. You know, if like I'm standing over and bending over, but I'm not that person who can like really do a tight close in pull to my legs when I'm doing that. So I still got a long way to go on that, but that's what I'm gonna start to work on. So we'll definitely see how that goes because I got some work to do. I guess I'll put that down as a goal, right? Yeah. All right. Let's see. What'd you say, Lewis? Hi, first time viewer from the UK. Welcome, Lewis. Glad to have you on board. Just sitting here talking about, and I'm not even talking about late night snacking, so I'm going to eventually change the title on that because I'm talking about like adding in a fitness pole and being sleepy because I've been up since 4:45 a.m. in the morning and it is now time for me to go to bed. Like, I don't know. And I have thought about doing more evening lives and actually setting up a regular time for it, and maybe like having a theme around it, like maybe doing one every Friday night, you know, like Sheila's 10 o'clock, Sheila's 9 o'clock live, you know, live with Shelia every Friday night at 9. I mean, I've thought about it, but I get so tired. And by the time 9 o'clock rolls around, I look at the camera and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just want to lie down. And so I don't know, maybe that's what it is. But I have thought about that. I really want to do that. I just need to commit to doing it, you know. But yeah, so glad to have you on board. So let me know in the comments if you think that's something you might be doing, because you're in a totally different time zone. So I don't even know what time it is in the UK. I mean, I guess it's a totally different day. Like, it's Friday in the UK, if that is right. I think that would be right. Like, it would be Friday in the UK now, or close to it. Whereas here, it's still Thursday night. Excuse me. So with that, with me yawning, that means I need to end this. So check me out. I am gonna try to start doing more. Yep. See, I knew it. I knew it. Like, I know a little bit. I know a little bit. So Friday at 3:34 a.m. Gotcha. Yep. I knew it. Yep. So with that, I'm gonna end it, and let me know if you think I should do something like that, because I think that would be better than just sort of popping up here every like once a month, which is what I do. I got to be on the road early. Gotcha. Well, definitely drive safely, and that's what, yeah, that's what. Because I was saying earlier, I usually get up at around 4:45 a.m. So I hear you on that early thing. But definitely drive safely, or wherever or however you're traveling. Yeah. But yeah, Lewis, thanks for checking in, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'm gonna try to like I said, I'm gonna try to put together a regular schedule for the lives, and try to like maybe even do an announcement about it, because if I put it out there, then I actually have to do it, right? My work with teens and tweens takes me all around the country. Oh, that's cool. What kind of work do you do? Because that's really cool. Huh. Yeah, my daughter is 19, so she starts college this year. She just graduated high school. And of course, it was interesting with the pandemic because they didn't really have the regular high school graduation. They just had like literally the cars drove up and the kids would get out and get their picture taken and then get back in the car. Like, they would say their names. So it was like, say your name, and they'd take a picture, and then the person would go get back in the car, and then the next person would come up and they'd say their name, and then, so they announced each one of the kids. So it was something, and they're gonna try something later. But yeah, being all around, going all around the country is probably interesting too, because you get to visit lots of different places and you get to meet different people. So yeah, you said I produce some video content from websites that specialize in inspiring wannabe models. Gotcha. Okay, one of my friends here where I am, she has an agency, and she works primarily with young girls. And so because it was the end of the high school year, like, she was sharing all of the girls that she had worked with that were graduating this year. And it was interesting because she would be like, oh, here's so and so, I first started working with her when she was 13. And the girls were so, like, you could tell she really focuses not just on like the modeling aspect of it, but she really focuses on like helping them build their self-confidence. And you could just tell from those girls the way that they carried themselves, and they just had a lot. You could see like the pride and the self-esteem, and the self-confidence that they had for themselves, as she was sharing their pictures and their videos and stuff, and it was just really evident. And so she works with young girls primarily. And so you said, I really care, and it's amazing how the photo and video work boosts their confidence. Exactly. Like I said, when she posted them, I was making comments because it was just obvious in the picture. Like you can tell when people don't have a strong self-image or self-confidence. And a lot of times, you know, they're getting some of that stuff from exterior stuff that's going on. You're seeing what's going on in the world, and how certain people are presented. So yeah, I mainly work with 11 to 15-year-olds. Yeah, so I think she starts with them young too, and then she'll work right up with them through high school. So, and I think you're right. Like getting them at that age is so crucial because that's when they start to you know, be more concerned about what their peers think, and there's that peer pressure, and you know, trying to feel accepted, and you know, really wanting and seeking approval from other people. And so yeah, it's wonderful seeing them change. Oh, I'm sure, because you're like watching them go from, you know, being sort of awkward and not like being sure of themselves to helping them. And pictures and videos can do that because they get a chance to sort of watch the transformation themselves too. And even when I was in law school, I had to take a mock trial class, and we recorded ourselves as we were like practicing being in a courtroom. And so it's the same sort of thing. You get to look at yourself and see how you can make improvements over time. So yeah, awkward adolescents turn to gorgeous young women. Exactly. You're exactly right. And that's what I meant when I was talking about my friend and how the girls that she was working with, like you should see them. I mean, they were all just gorgeous girls, and they just carried themselves in just this like, yep, I'm ready for my next phase in life. Like it was, I mean, it was so obvious. And you realize how much you can impact. I mean, just think about all of the young women that you've impacted in a positive way, and how many more young girls could use that, you know? But so I keep telling my friend she needs to start a YouTube channel. And so I've actually had her in some of my videos, but I keep telling her, I'm like, you got to start a channel. You got to start a channel so that you can put more of that out there. It's remarkable how different their bodies and personalities change in a few short years. Yep. And that's the thing, because their bodies are changing and they don't have any control over it. And they're trying to adjust to it and trying to figure it out. I mean, you know, we all remember growing up and going through adolescence and just the changes that go on. And you can, you know, there can be a lot of self-doubt with that. There can be some shame with that in not knowing. And not knowing what to think and what to do. And so it can be really hard for young girls. And the thing that I will say, that at least now, you know, there's the ability to reach out and have other resources on the internet. Not saying that all of them are good, but at least there's that option to get some information. You said, like your friend, I thought about starting a channel showing the shoots and part of them. Yeah, I mean, and it's because and my friend is so funny because I've been telling her, like, literally, I'm like, I keep sharing stuff up there, and I keep telling her, I'm like, you gotta start a channel, you gotta start a channel. And so she has decided she is gonna start a channel. And it's just, I mean, it's really a way, I mean, because you're impacting so many people, like how you work with them, but there are tons of other kids like in other places that don't have access to that, and them seeing that, I mean, you never know, and I catch this a lot too, you never know who's looking at what you're doing and being inspired and moved by it. And so, you know, you're acting as a role model for people when you don't even realize you are sometimes. And there are so many girls all around the world who may have access to the internet more easily than they may have access to somebody like you or somebody like my friend. You said that's good. Remind her, because of YouTube's policy, she may not be able to show the full shoots. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't really have to worry about that because my daughter is of legal age now. But yeah, she would have to pick and choose. You know, like she probably wouldn't show some of the younger ones. She may show some of the some of the older ones. So yeah, she would definitely have to divide that up to figure out what she was gonna show. You're definitely right about that. I forgot about that because I'm so in the mindset that I don't do a whole lot with kids, and because my daughter's older. But yeah, she definitely would have to think about that. But yeah, she's moving to a new studio because of the pandemic. The location that she was in, the owner of that shopping mall shut it down, totally shut it down. And so her lease was supposed to be up at the end of the year, but because of a provision in the lease, technically they could go ahead and shut down. Um, and so she had to find a new place. And so she recently found a new place. And actually, it's one of the videos that I posted recently. It was just a tour of the new space. And so that's the space she's going to be moving into. And so it's a larger space, I think. And they're going to do some renovations to it. But I think the guy who's buying the building is closing on it in a few days. So then she'll be able to sign her lease and move in. So he said, I think if her shoots are like mine, the gaps in the shoots when the girls are changing outfits probably won't be able to be shown in a candid stream of a shoot. Yeah, she's really gonna, and we'll have to sit down. I'll have to sit down and talk with her so we can make a plan for what she wants, what she can show and what she can't show. And then some of her girls don't really want to be on YouTube like that, because we actually had a meeting a while back with one of the people that she worked with. Now, this person was doing more music, but that particular person just wanted to enjoy what she was doing and didn't really want to be on social media quite like that. She had some other things she wanted to do with it. So yeah, so even if my friend wants it, and even if she could do it, then maybe that the person doesn't want to do it. So yeah, it's really gonna depend a lot. So we'll see, but hopefully she'll get her channel up in a few weeks. We've been talking about it, so I think she's ready. When you work with them in a relaxed environment, you get used to seeing them like that, but probably not good on YouTube. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. YouTube and all this social media and anything you put on the internet lives forever. So you have to be really okay with what you put out there and knowing that it's going to be out there forever. So my daughter actually did a video back when she was a little girl, because one day, and I can't remember if I had posted something or we were watching. I can't remember what the deal was, but she was like, I want to do a tutorial on YouTube. And she did, and it's still out there. And she I forgot, I think she was teaching people how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. And she was just like, and then you put your fingers here, and then you play this. It was really cute because she was really young. And we sort of didn't do any more. And I sort of wished, I guess I'm a little torn with it, because had she kept doing it, then her self-confidence would have been okay, as opposed to her waiting, because then recently she was like, I don't know, because people talk about you and all that. And so then she fell into sort of that trap. And I sort of hated that. I almost wished that she had done it when she was younger, when she didn't care what other people thought. And she did it because it was something she was interested in doing. So yeah, I can't believe you're old enough to have a grown-up daughter. I know. And look, sometimes I think that too. Look, my father sometimes, my mom not so much, but my father will sometimes be like, oh yeah, I'm only so-and-so years old. I'm like, well, how can you be that old? Because I'm this age, so it's so funny. Like nobody wants to claim the number, but yeah. Yeah, and I had her when I was a little bit older, but yeah, she's been great, and yeah, she's been really good. So yep. But oh well, not a whole lot else going on. But yeah, but thank you for checking out and hanging out with me. But like I said, I think I'm gonna try to do more lives. I mean, it's something that I actually wrote down as a goal. Girl, do more lives. streams. Yeah. But you know, and then I'll come back and be like, okay, well now I need to add the description. Now I need to, you know, do a different thumbnail, and it'll take me like a week before I go back and do it. Cause you know, like I said, a lot of times when I do my live streams, that I really want to do them at night, because during the day I'm working. And I've done some during the day, but I'm working with a different company now, so I really am working during the day. And so if I were to do one during the day, it would probably be during lunch or something like that. Okay, well, I have subscribed and look forward to your lives. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah, yeah, like I said, it was one of those goals that I wrote down, was to start to do more lives, especially once I hit the 1,000 subscribers, because I can use my phone. And my phone does way better with live streams than my laptop does. For some reason, my laptop, it gets hot. It starts buffering. I've had it cut off. And the picture's not as clear. So although this picture's not as clear, it is a little fuzzy in here. Yeah, I don't know if I can make it any, yeah. It's just the lighting, like, you know, it's at nighttime, and I didn't like bring out my box lights or anything, because I just wasn't doing all that at 9 o'clock at night. But yeah, I definitely want to try to do more live streams. And I think like I said before, I think what I'm going to do is put that on a schedule, because I think it's easier to sort of do that when it's on a schedule. My other stuff just gets posted when it gets posted. I've got 2 videos now that are, I'll say, in the queue. They're in the queue. They're being edited. Actually, I've got 3 videos because I've got something for something else. But there are definitely 2 videos that I am working on. One is long, which is why I haven't finished it. And the other's short, but I didn't like it. That was part of it. And so I'm probably gonna put it together, and I'll see whether or not it winds up being something that I post. It was more of a fitness tips video, but I don't know if I just wasn't impressed with it. So, and I hate to post stuff that I don't really like. Yeah. All right, so that's cool. Have a good evening, and see you next time. Now I just figure out how to turn this thing off when I'm doing this.